Prior to this visit today, I had only been to Hinchingbrooke twice before. I wasn't able to really take in how vast the house is and also how it's been transformed into what it is today, which is a school.
My mother's bedroom was right there, so it was a very good position to be in. You weren't quite so close, were you?
No, I was miles away. Special boy again.
Special boy.
Special boy again. Number one son. This is my mother's bedroom. Always a very happy room. It's always smelt deliciously of my mother. I can feel it now. It just has a feel about it.
You know, I'm going to get emotional here because I think the experience of seeing my father-in-law telling his stories so I can then tell that experience to my grandchildren. And that's how history lives on. Sorry. When I married into the British aristocracy, it was the start of a wonderfully exciting journey, but it was also a little daunting. I became a Viscountess, and for an American girl from a small town outside Chicago, that was quite a shock. I live with my husband Luke, heir to the Earl of Sandwich, and our family at Mapperton House in Dorset. Mapperton has opened up an extraordinary new world for me, and I can't wait to share it with you all. So if you love castles and manors and stately homes as much as I do, please join me as I head off to visit some of Britain's most spectacular historic homes. Living here as young children in the late 1940s and early 1950s, John, Kate, and their siblings spent much of their time in the nursery wing of the house. So here we are. This is top floor. And which way is the nursery?
Right, kiddo.
The nursery is through there. Oh, we're going to have a disagreement. Depends which way you want to go.
This is the bathroom.
It's actually there.
It's behind us, you see, so we could go either way.
Oh, your old room.
My old room.
Wow, look at this.
Lovely
How
room.
well do you remember this? I'm not sure I have very many memories of this.
Well, what I chiefly remember is this double door led to my mother's bedroom, my grandmother on my mother's
this
side.
door here led to your...
And there was a secret place
mother's
between.
room.
It was
Another
double door.
hiding places. But I also remember the ceiling was a sort of blue firmament with stars. It was a rather wonderful ceiling.
And then did you have a fire, John? This has obviously been
Well, I can't
closed up.
remember the fire, but I do remember my mother's bedroom was right there, so it was a very good position to be in. If you were in trouble, you ran in there. You weren't quite so close, were you?
No, I was miles away. Special boy again.
Special boy.
Special boy again. Number one son.
But do you remember coming into John's room sometimes, occasionally?
Not this one. I remember the other one, the measles one.
What's
I don't remember this one.
What is the measles one?
Well, it's down the passage, his second room.
We're on the way down to the nursery anyway, aren't we?
Okay. What's the
Let's go and
measles
think.
room?
Well, I'll show you. Go
Okay.
on. Keep going.
Oh my goodness. Wait, Kate, just hold on before we go see the measles room,
Yes.
whatever that is. What,
Yes.
This room, I've just spotted it.
This is my mother's bedroom. Really important room for us. She had the bed here up against there, and I think there was a fireplace there.
Right.
And this lovely little balcony going to the overlooking a garden.
Beautiful.
And behind that is her bathroom.
And was this where her dressing?
Yes, dressing table would have
was
been
there.
Yes, absolutely.
And so do you remember this? Absolutely.
I remember this because on Christmas morning we opened our stockings in here. On her bed.
Her bed there.
Yes, absolutely. She had a big, lovely bed. And this room was her bathroom. Attached, I suppose, done up for her to have a bathroom.
Yes. How wonderful. I mean, it's wonderful. And look at her
It
views.
is. Her views are the best.
And did she go out on the balcony?
Yes, I think she would have done. Yes, yeah. She probably had a little chair there, and she could sit in the sun.
It's beautiful.
I know. This room was always a very happy room. It always smelt deliciously of my mother, and it was always gave off this great vibe of happiness.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, do you feel that you can feel?
I can feel it now.
Yeah.
It just has a feel about it.
Right.
It's nice.
Yeah, really wonderful. Wonderful.
We got another room to see down here, which was my old room.
Well, we've just seen your old room. Is this another room?
No, but this is older. Oh, this is the one that's turned into a loo.
That's very funny. Is this a bit different from how you remember it?
You got to laugh at this one. John's bedroom is now a loo.
Overlooking it, I think
I think I'm allowed to come in because it's a female loo, so I'll go in. Oh my goodness!
So what I remember about it is there was a terrible piece of wire,
right,
instead of a light. The light seemed to be never attached. So I had this memory, Kate remembers this, of a joke of saying a piece of wire, and I made fun of it, but actually I was rather afraid of it as to what was going to happen.
You were really shut in here for 3 weeks, I think, when you had measles.
Oh, of course I had measles, yeah.
Oh my goodness, 3, do you remember that, John, being in here?
Dark
I
for
do
3
now.
weeks.
Yes, I had forgotten
3 weeks in here in dark. Well, there isn't a lot of light compared to the other rooms. You can see this is
yes, but that would have been curtained. He wouldn't have been allowed a light.
And
So
now
that's all I can remember.
Because it was
I'm
something
afraid.
to do with blindness, I think, with measles.
Yes.
That was the thinking at that
was the
stage.
thinking back then. So this was your room.
With each room we visit, the feelings become more intense, the memories more vivid of how Hinchingbrooke was once their family home.
And that was the way out to the roof.
That was the way out to the roof. And would you go out there? Oh, you would, you naughty little girl, when you went out there. Oh my goodness, but you went out here.
Oh yes, we did supervise.
So this
We were
area
supervised.
No, it was
here.
not supervised.
You couldn't just wander
Yes,
out,
you
okay.
jolly could.
Well, I didn't.
Kate clearly did.
I did. Loved it.
You must
So
have been much braver.
So this is the nursery area here. No.
We haven't
But
quite
this-
got to it. No, this is the laundry room,
I don't remember it
but
very
it had the
clearly.
mangle,
Oh, the mangle.
the great mangle.
What's a
And
mangle?
then
A mangle?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you can't not know what a
No, I
mangle is.
don't know what a mangle is. What's
You've
a
probably got a different American term for it.
Probably.
It's a couple of bars rather like rolling pins,
Right.
and then a handle, and then you'd put your clothes, or when you washed them, through the mangle,
Oh, yes.
and then it would drain the
take the
water
water
out,
out.
Okay.
and then you could hang them up.
Okay. We probably just called it a dryer.
No, you couldn't possibly have called it a dryer.
Oh look, Kate, this is it. Huge
So this is
room.
the nursery. I can see why. I can
It's rather
absolutely
dark, John, isn't it?
see why
I
this
suppose
would
we're
be
on
the
is this the
nursery.
north side of the house? But you could lean out and you could see exactly who was arriving.
And you
to
could see
do-
who was
yeah,
arriving.
yeah.
See. So, but a nursery was just where you would
Okay, a nursery was
playroom.
where a playroom.
a playroom.
But it was where we ate as well, and we'd do lessons in here. I'd have lessons. I had there was a table in the window where
There was
I
certainly
did
a
my
table
first
in
lessons.
this window, wasn't there? The strongest, earliest memory I have of this room is the telephone ringing. The telephone was high up on the cupboard, so we couldn't reach it ourselves. It was kept away from us. Telephone ringing, Julia is born, 1947. This was our younger sister.
Right.
And that's absolutely crystal clear. I was only 4.
That's
And I
amazing.
remember the
I
phone
don't.
ringing
Obviously, I don't.
and the
know.
news coming through.
That Julia was
Yeah.
born.
One other thing is my mother's studio, because she was a painter, her room next door, which we ought to look in quickly.
Okay.
Because
Yep.
that's where we also spent some moments anyway. Not
Right.
long.
So let's go check out the studio. And do you remember seeing your mother paint?
Yes.
Oh yes, certainly.
Yeah.
Canvases everywhere and oil, lovely smell of oil paint.
This is the one. Yeah.
There's so many bedrooms or rooms, I
So
should
all
say.
I can remember is canvases. What can you remember here, Kate?
Well, again, I remember pictures and easels and paint everywhere and just a room which we didn't really come into very much because it was very much Mum's
It was her room.
area.
Right.
And she didn't really like us to be
Yeah, but a
in
lovely
here
room.
too much.
Yes, well, lovely light. I can see why
Lovely light.
she would want this but so this, where we are now in the house, because I've been, the nursery area, is this really where you felt that you lived? I mean, you slept here, but
Exactly. Yeah.
right.
Definitely.
Down
We
this
were all
passage.
pretty well in this passage,
Right.
either just down the bottom there or where we were earlier.
All round to our
Or-
parents'
or-
rooms.
yeah.
Was the other.
Right. So it was just this part. Yeah.
No,
Well, it's
so
so
much.
vast.
But we just had a separate life up here.
I used to like getting up very early in the morning and just walking around the exterior of the house and saying hello to one or two of the carpenter or the chauffeur, and that I do remember clearly. So it might have been because it was busy in the house all the time, but
Yes, no, of course. But there was somebody always here that when you would walk around, you would see the carpenter or the chauffeur.
Yes. I mean, there were lots of people around. It was very warm. I mean, in some ways, they were more friends to us than our parents and the people who came to stay in the house. You'd go into the kitchen garden and the gardeners didn't tell you to go away and do something else. They would say, come and have a peach or everybody was really lovely.
Having both of you here, I just can see how close you are, not only in age, but
We are.
I've known this
You've
my
known
whole
that.
life. Well, not my whole life, but since I married into the family, I know you're both close. But now for me to be able to just listen to the two of you together, to reminisce and tell stories, and I think it's wonderful.
Well, it's lovely for us, actually, because there's lots of things we might not have ever thought about again.
Stand by, everyone. Action, Julie. Action, Julie.
Julie,
Yes.
we're on set. We need to film this.
Okay, right. Sorry, everybody. I was just on Aeonia.com, our co-production partner of
Yeah.
American Viscountess. And they have just listed their online events for the next 7 days. And I just want to figure out which one I'm going to do as I carefully come down
I wouldn't come down
this
there.
hill.
But it's
So can I just
Julie, it's digital. You can look at it later. It's all on the app.
That's true. I know the app is amazing. By the way, I know that obviously Aeonia, as we know, is the best online events in art and culture, but I didn't realize that they have historic houses and garden events that I can go to online.
Yeah, brilliant.
Right.
Right, let's
Okay.
get this filmed.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah, sorry. I'll put this away. I'm going to bookmark it and come back to it later. How am I going to get down here, you guys? So what was in here, John, this room? Do you remember?
oh yes, this was our main guest room.
This was a guest room?
This was our.
There was
a
a corridor down
There
the
was
side.
a corridor.
Right.
Which
And
made,
then
and then it was
bedrooms.
divided. It was divided. That was
Oh.
the main the guest room there.
Okay.
How lovely that window is with its Gothic tracery at
Yes.
the top there. Isn't that beautiful?
Beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. But, here, the bow window.
But I remember taking trays from the butler's pantry, our butler's pantry, and sliding down the banks when it was snow.
Oh yes, that I do.
Remember that?
Oh yes, remember that.
53 too.
On
There was a
trays.
very, very cold spell at one stage.
Right, and you took the trays.
And we asked him, of course. We
Right,
wouldn't be
right,
able to
right.
take them. But we had a tin, because we had tin trays, those great big tin trays. Perfect for sitting on.
Perfect. How fun.
I remember very clearly, just at the end there.
Oh, yes, there
The
goes
terrace.
the train. That evokes the film we just watched of Hinchingbrooke. But this, what do we know about this? Do you remember this?
We've never seen that in our time. It's been done much more recently, and it's part of the old Norman church. We
It was
did see the
discovered.
lancet window, but this is a bigger one.
It's beautiful. It's part of the old Norman church. So it was discovered after.
Another example of how the school has been looking after the building.
Yes, absolutely. The fabric of the building and uncovering and making these extraordinary discoveries. Well, did you see the name of this room is the Montagu room?
Oh, very good.
I think it's, rightfully so, it's probably the grandest room upstairs. So it's nice that, I like that, Montagu room, the grandest room on the first floor.
In a future episode, I'll be meeting Tom Wheely, one of Hinchingbrooke's history teachers, who has researched the changes each generation has made to the building. And on the upper floor of the house, Kate and I find her father's rooms, now classrooms.
Well, Dad's room was down the end there.
Oh my goodness.
So his room was at the end there with his bathroom just off it. And these two rooms, I don't know what they were.
Well, maybe they were just almost
Bedrooms.
like his, no, maybe they were just his lounge rooms.
But let's just have a quick
Let's have a look. This is really fun. It's like exploring, and you have to really use your imagination. Oh my, the school has 2,000 people, Kate, and you can use your imagination.
But this
And
is the
why
sixth
being with
form.
Kate and John, it's so fun.
This is the sixth form, though, you see?
Yes.
Okay, so this was Dad's bedroom. And he had
Oh
a
my
little,
goodness.
he had a little prie-dieu. Do you know what a prie-dieu is?
No.
In the corner here. And where you kneel to say your prayers.
Oh.
And his bed was there.
And his bed was there, and look at this. I mean, that's original, yes.
Yeah, he must have loved this room, I think.
But where was his
His
bathroom
bathroom's
then?
here. And I used to
Yes,
watch him
it
shaving.
is.
One of those, he had a stropping razor.
Right.
I used to watch him.
And you must, let's open up that door, shall we? Just opening up lots of doors. I mean, how many doors do you think? Oh,
No.
it's locked. It's an office.
An office.
The loo is now an office. It's so fun to go through
So nice seeing
this
it all
with
like
you.
this,
And your
actually.
memory, Kate.
Yeah, it's not bad, my memory, is it?
No, it's not.
No, not bad.
Look at this.
Oh, you see that? Oh, gosh. So that's the rose garden there.
Yes.
And there's a little walkway that goes there, and then there's a new building there. The cedars are amazing, because there's the cedar there, there's a cedar out there. There was a cedar here that we climbed all the time.
One room which still retains some resemblance to how it once was is the library, where an important chapter of Montagu family history is immortalized in the beautiful stained glass windows.
You know, I'm going to get emotional here because I think seeing John and Kate walk around together with their memories really struck home to me because I was able to experience that. And for that, I'm so incredibly grateful and lucky that I was there to hear their stories and to see them laugh. That's important. And I think Hinchingbrooke for me represents that. Those stories that can continue to be told, not only through, you know, my father-in-law and through Kate, but I can then, of course, tell the story of filming here with them and be able to tell that to my children that, do you know that I was once with Grandpa and your grandpa or your great-grandfather, and we went through his house that he used to live in, and he told these amazing stories. And so I think Hinchingbrooke and the Montagu family can still live on and survive together and tell those stories. We just have to keep coming back, and I think we have to be able to make sure that this building survives. So I think that's my attachment to it. It's not just that 350 years of Montagu's lived here. I think for me it was the experience of seeing my father-in-law and telling his stories so I can then tell that experience to my grandchildren. And that's how history lives on. Sorry.